That's better. Or it's not. Presented by Razer. Oh yeah, they have their thing going on.
Hello and welcome to WoWCast.
Hello.
Today we're diving deeper underground into the next content update for the War Within, Undermined. Joining me today are two developers from the team who helped bring this update to life. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm David Hollings. I'm a game designer who focuses primarily on battleground and arena maps.
Hi, I'm Kelada. I'm an assistant lead quest designer and the point for the Undermined update.
Thank you for joining us today. Let's jump right in. What made Undermined the perfect location for this major update?
Undermine is a location that we've seen throughout the lore of World of Warcraft for quite a while.
Linksy always has like the
Manuals
best fit.
Back from 1999. I think it was just like a little location at the south of the map, to Cataclysm and seeing it in gossip text and other interactions with goblins. So for us, it didn't make a lot of sense to put it in the first 4 zones, but it certainly makes a lot of sense to put it here.
I think it's gonna be
Another thing that we
neat.
wanted to do when we were looking at Undermine was goblins. Goblins, of course, are this zany, creative, chaotic race that we have in World of Warcraft, and we really haven't seen a lot of development in their culture and who they are, their stories. And so this is our way of making sure that, like, hey, players, we want to give you more stories that are based in cultures that we have not yet seen in the world, but then also make sure that we are connecting it back to the larger story as a whole within the World Soul Saga and especially the War Within. For us, at least, we get to do really cool stuff. We get to interface with the 4 different cartels, the Bilgewater, Blackwater, Steamweedle, and Venture Co. And each one of them and their leaders, as we've got to know throughout World of Warcraft. So we have Monty Gazlo for Bilgewater, Marin Noggenfogger for Steamweedle, Baron Revelgaz for Blackwater. Don't worry, if you've been killing goblins in Booty Bay, you'll be fine there.
My rep.
Yeah. And then Venture Co., not a cartel, but you'll see what we have in store for them. Normally
Interesting.
antagonists, but much like everything with goblins, they can shift their allegiances based on whatever it is that they choose to, and we will explain that more within the story.
I'm so excited to learn more about the goblins and their crazy antics. Speaking of the cartels, if we partner with the cartels, what do we get from that?
So the experience that you have within Undermine will change based on the different cartels you ally with. And with that, you will also be able to unlock customizations for your car, different transmogs, toys, sort of the general things that we would expect to come out of a friendship reputation that you're earning throughout the experience.
Speaking of cars, this new vehicle system D.R.I.V.E. was
Shouldn't have heard any of
mentioned in the Warcraft Direct recently. David, do you have more information on this?
I do, yeah. D.R.I.V.E, which stands for Dynamic and Revolutionary Improvements to Vehicular Experiences, is going to be the new way that you get around Undermine. It's roughly 3 to 5 times faster than a ground mount and a little faster than skywriting at full speed.
I think once people really get a feel for that speed, I guarantee people will really start to see just how fast this car is pretty quick.
How does progression work with the vehicles?
Right, so you'll get your car from Nanny Tallulah, and she's gonna send you on some shipping and handling activities to gain some currency and get some neat parts for your ride, and you'll be able to customize your ride, whether you're getting new colors, make it faster, or even change how it drifts. You'll be able to make it your own. Throttle control is going to be extremely important when you're trying to control your car around those like really tight turns of the Undermine.
Also, we do have timekeeper races that players can go and challenge themselves to 4 courses. We have both the forward and the reverse course, and then we want to just see how you decide to make it your own with other players. If you want to do your montages, you're taking a drift in front of the hotel and put it to your favorite music, and please do, right? Like, we really want to see how people make this sort of like an experience they're getting into themselves.
All right,
That's
now
dope.
let's switch gears and let's talk about delves.
I think that's actually going to be really cool.
Don't make fun of my
Delves!
fun, okay?
I love delves.
There will be 2 new delves, Excavation Site 9 and Side Street Sluice, as well as new variants of Goblin-themed delves for the majority of the War Within delves. There will also be a new Zekvir-style encounter as well that's going to be hosting all new rewards.
Oh, cool. Do you have an example of one of the rewards?
There will be a new mount, the Gobtrotter mount, with new customization options as well, including a gold variant version for the challenge mode.
Oh, similar to like the Void one that's out right now if you beat Zekvir.
Exactly.
Can you tell us more about Side
That's
Street
hot.
Sluice and Excavation Site 9?
So Side Street Sluice takes place in the sewers of Undermined, and you will get to see what D.R.I.V.E is trying to do in the sewers, what control they're exerting within the space, and the other sort of antics of goblins away from the public eye and their machinations within the sewers. And Excavation Site 9 takes place in a new section behind Opportunity Point at the south of where we're going in the Ringing Deeps. In it, you're going to see sort of like void corruption overtaking Titan ruins to sort of show this eternal conflict we have seen through the history of World of Warcraft of Titans versus void. Within it, of course, you will go and see why it is called Excavation Site 9 with the goblin-themed antics that are down there. It is a super cool environmental storytelling sort of space.
Zoth is back?
Sidekick still Bran Bronzebeard?
Yeah, he never left,
Our
baby.
trusty sidekick is still Bran Bronzebeard, yes. So we decided to go with Bran for the entirety of the War Within, as he is a character people have grown fond of early on in Season 1, with all of his meme potential about webs and Nerubians popping out of them. And also, it gives us an opportunity to rethink what a sort of expansion level companion will be, instead of season over season constantly changing and forcing people to relearn the mechanics, the abilities, sort of the kit that Bran has. Also, within Season 2 and at the launch of the Undermined update, Bran will be receiving a new tank specialization. So if you're a healer, you no longer have to feel that you need to spec change into a role that isn't the one that you're connected to. He'll be a ranged tank, so he has a shield and a gun, and then a new set of abilities that he will receive for that. Not only that, but we also have goblin curios that we're putting in there, goblin-themed curios. So a dwarf, such as Bran Bronzebeard, with sort of his personality and how sort of larger than life he is, what is he going to do when he's interacting with rockets and bombs and malfunctioning devices throughout the delving experience? There is a special curio that you can receive from doing the challenge encounter.
Oh.
And it'll allow Bran to call down a mech that you then, as a player, can pilot in the delve.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so it's going to just tie into sort of the goblin fantasy.
Okay, that's dope. That's really cool.
Now let's talk about...
Okay, him being a ranged tank is like even... Mark my words, everyone is... That is going to be the way that people do delves. It's going to make every other specialization stupid and useless. And everyone's just gonna have him as a tank. Like, for sure. No doubt. Do we really need him to tank? I mean... it's going to be the superior way to have him play. No matter what. You know? They're not going to, like, there's no reason to have him as anything else.
About Season 2, which starts 1 week after the Undermine update. Let's go straight into PvP.
Yeah, so there's going to be a new arena called the Cage of Carnage, and it's unlike any arena we've ever done before. We took a look at the map pool.
Why do I
and
doubt
noticed
that?
We were missing a couple smaller maps, so we decided to make this map a little bit more cutthroat. Players will be dropped in through a trap door and separated only by a metal platform that'll have ramps on every corner. It's going to be quite a tight fit. It should make for some explosive gameplay.
Well, that's what PvP players can expect.
Isn't it just like the arena in Nagrand? I feel like he might just die more, but we'll see. So that's the other thing. If he dies more and he's not a good tank, then he's useless. Like there's like no middle ground in him having a tank role. That's why they initially didn't do it. There's no middle ground. Either he's the only way you're going to do delves, or you're never going to touch his tank spec. It's always one or the other. Yeah, save that for Season 2. Should have made the floor lava. Be cool if like occasionally lava filled up, right? And they have to get onto the platform.
What can PvE players expect in Season 2?
Yeah, so there's going to be a new dungeon called Operation Floodgate. It's going to be a 4-boss dungeon that's taking place in the Ringing Deeps. It's going to be at
cool.
that big dam that you might have seen. And we are preventing Ventrico and D.R.I.V.E from knocking over that dam and flooding the region. So players can enter this dungeon immediately, but Mythic Plus will come out once the season begins. The new Mythic Plus dungeon rotation will include the new dungeon Operation Floodgate, as well as the 4 remaining War Within dungeons. But it will also include some older dungeons, the Mechagon Workshop, the Motherlode, and the Theater of Pain.
Yep. Sorry about Theater of Pain. You're going to be farming my trinkets yet again. I know Soul Letting Ruby is one of the very popular ones that people went after.
I'll be going after that.
And then, of course, with Mechagon, we do have our lovely Cogwheel Skill Shot trinket that I'm really excited to see people use again, especially when they're fighting other motorcycles.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
And the raid itself.
Now let's talk about the new raid, Liberation of Undermined.
Okay, so Liberation.
I like the season, but you're right. Theater of Pain, I don't know why Theater of Pain is there. Like, usually there's something thematically why they do that. I don't know why Theater of Pain. I guess Coliseum, like it's a Coliseum thing. It's like that type of idea. And this is all, there's so much Coliseum stuff. Mythic plus Cinder Brew. They'll tune all they're gonna tune all of that, right? Like Priory and Cinder Brew, there's no way it's going from what it is now to I feel like those are harder than some Mythic Plus dungeons right now. Revo, what's going on, dude? Happy Thursday. Welcome on in.
Of Undermine. It is going to be an 8-boss raid. It will unlock a week after the Undermined update goes out. And then we have our story mode also unlocking a week after that. So we saw success with Nerebar Palace and Queen Ansarek in terms of people going into the story mode. You get to experience the encounter, you get to see the cinematics. And for us, Gallywix's encounter is a really core part of the story that we are telling within the Undermined update. And so, of course, it was a no-brainer. We wanted to make sure that we gave you that story mode so you can go in there as well. In regards to this 8-boss raid, things in Undermine happens the Goblin way. And the raid itself is very much a way with which you can see what zany, crazy encounters our encounter designers cooked up and did it in a way that's very Goblin-y. A couple notable examples that I would call out is we have the Cauldron
That looks
Carnage
really cool.
that is going to have a gorilla versus a mechanical Tyrannosaurus that are going to fight each other, kind of a reference. We have the big tank.
Kind of a reference, edit that out.
Shooting out of it. And then we have our DJ boss, who compels you by the power of sound in order to listen to Gallywix and not to anyone else. And then lastly, of course, the Gallywix encounter, once people see that mech, and also what the mythic mount will be, I feel a lot of people are going to be trying to see how they can get to cutting edge because it is wild.
I'm very excited about the Carnage fight because that T-Rex, the Mechasaur, that also has a chance to drop a mount.
Oh, heck yeah!
That mount's so bad.
Oh, I love it!
In my opinion.
Are there any other rewards we can look out for?
That is the
With new
coolest mount in the
raid comes new
game.
Gear sets and set bonuses, and these set bonuses are going to be themed around the Magnificent Galagio. Whether you're a tank that wants a little bit more luck of the draw, or
Mount goes raw. How do you get the T-Rex mount? Drops from the boss. Cutting edge boosts are gonna skyrocket. Yeah, that's really cool. That's really cool. They announced Tinker yet? Not yet. Okay, so in raid on any difficulty. Yeah, I think it'll probably be similar to like the Gmod mount from Battle of Dazar'alor. Or Queen Ansarek, I guess, too. The cutting edge mount though is only from probably not LFR. Gmod and the mythic Queen Ansarek, or not the mythic Queen Ansarek, the Queen Ansarek mount drops from LFR currently. I would be surprised if the T-Rex one doesn't. Call playing Tinkerer if it's announced. Tinkerer is definitely not coming in 11.1. Can you go back to the cutting edge mount? We didn't see the cutting edge mount. We saw this mount, which is from that boss. Never used to be a thing for raid mounts. Yeah, Battle of Dazar'alor had it for Gmod. Trying to think if there was ones. Gallywix's mount is the cutting edge mount. Yeah, that's what they said. Thought the cutting edge mount was the Gallywix head. They actually said, okay, so I'll just replay it. They said, wait until people see the thing. It's probably the head, but they didn't actually say it.
Once people see that mech, and also what the mythic mount will be, I feel a lot of people are going to be trying to see how they can get to cutting edge, because it is wild.
I'm very excited about the Carnage fight.
They didn't show it.
That T-Rex, the Mechasaur, that also has a chance to drop a mount, and as a collector, I want that mount.
Yeah, that's the one that will drop from the... So there's 2 mounts in this raid. The one from Gallywix will be the cutting edge one. The one from the T-Rex will just be like a random chance.
So bad.
It's the coolest mount in the game, in my opinion.
Are there any other rewards we can look out for?
Well, with a new raid comes new gear sets and set bonuses, and these set bonuses are going to be themed around the Magnificent Galagio. Whether you're a tank that wants a little bit more luck of the draw...
No raid breaks in Season 2 until I get that dino. Yeah, we're going to do another thing, too, for raid, where I'm going to get people... Like, they're going to sign up as an AOTC raider, and then they're going to sign up as, like, a seasonal raider. Or figure out something, because I'm tired of people getting AOTC and then we never see them again. I don't get the role-specific tier sets. Haven't they always been role-specific? Well, they're class-specific, spec-specific. Yeah. Each time you take damage, you have a chance to cast Shield Wall for 4 seconds and gain Luck of the Draw, which increases your damage dealt by 15% for 10 seconds. So instead of it casting Shield Wall, it'll just probably adapt to whatever your defensive is, the equivalent for tanks. During Luck of the Draw, Shield Slams, or whatever, chance to critically strike is increased, and its critical strike reduces the cooldown of Shield Charge by 6 seconds. Yeah, I don't really like that. It just feels and I said this before when they were like, we're not going to do tier sets. It's like, it just feels lazy.
Or a healer that needs a little bit added insurance. The 2 set bonuses are going to be unique per...
Yeah, unique. Wait, do they mean the 2 set bonus or the 2 set bonuses? I think they mean the two set bonuses, the 2 and 4. Your healing spells have a chance to apply insurance to their targets that heals them for stuff. It's consumed if an ally drops below 40% health to heal them. And then it'll be whatever your thing is. Apply insurance for 10 seconds to one target while Apotheosis or whatever is active. Your healing is increased by 1% for each insurance active on allies. All healers will get insurance as 2 set and 4 set.
The added insurance, the 2 set bonuses are going to be unique per role,
right?
But the 4 set bonuses are going to be unique per specialization, and there should be something for everyone.
That's cool. I'm fine with that. Never mind. I'm totally fine with that. I think that's a totally fine way of doing it. Right. How unique the 4 set is. Right. If it ends up being like, it just changes the way your whatever works. That a pirate? Yeah. Yeah, that rogue set's really cool. Mage set, I'm guessing. And then the druid set in the back there? Or is it just different spells trigger? Right. Can't believe you're watching WoW stuff. I know. Hi, Air. Looks like Pacific Rim robot. The warrior set there? I'm also fine with it as long as, like, if the 2 set, I think that's fine. But it sounds like, so the 2 set applies, like, that makes sense. Okay, that's insurance. And then your set is going to be, your 4 set is going to be how your spec interacts with the thing from the 2 set, right? That makes sense to me. Like every tank is going to have this part. And then different specs are going to have different stuff here. But like, is it going to be Shield Slam's chance to critically strike, Shield of the Righteous's chance to critically strike, you know, whatever, Merowrin's chance to critically strike, like, you know what I mean?
A tank that wants a little bit more luck of the draw, or a healer that needs a little bit added insurance, the 2 set bonuses are going
And thought your title was Straight
to
Celebration?
be unique per role.
I actually like the
4 set
preset.
bonuses are going to be unique per specialization, and there should be something for everyone.
Yeah, that rogue set is hot.
Before we wrap up, what are you both most excited for with this update?
Oh, it's got to be Drive for me. I mean, I cannot wait to start drifting around the Undermined between queues. It's going to be my new anti-AFK activity for sure.
Going in circles, just
The
like
4
how
set
we
for
always
tanks
do.
could easily be
Absolutely,
swapped.
but this time
Yeah, I
swapless.
wonder if they do that though, because it said
Excited
it's spec
for 2
specific, so
things about the Undermine update. 1, I finally get to be able to
I
talk
don't
about
know.
Undermine, which is awesome. 2, players getting to experience the new take on Goblin culture. One of the things that the team from StoryCorps all the way down that we have really been excited about is really showing a more relatable story about goblins. And I cannot wait for people to see the passion that has gone into everything about Undermine. I cannot wait for people to experience from our local stories to our main campaign. There is a lot of love and care and passion put into Undermine that really resonates throughout the whole experience. And it really was this moment of just everyone who is excited to work on goblins. We finally were able to be like, here it is. Let's do our best that we can in terms of creating this super compelling story.
Thank you guys so much for talking to me about Undermined, and thank you for tuning into WoWCast, and we'll see you
I love the
next time in
vibe, the
Undermined.
art stuff, like the art stuff behind them is also really cool.
Thank you for
Like I just think that style's cool. That's pretty cool. These new RNG effects feel more impactful than the random spells we got in the past. RNG effects. Are you talking about the tier sets? Oh, right. I guess that one is RNG. Each time you take damage, you have a chance to cast Shield Wall for 4 seconds. Have a chance to apply insurance. Yeah. I don't know if I love chances. But I guess you kind of have to, or else each time you take damage, you have a chance to cast Shield Wall for 4 seconds. That's a long time. The sweater bonuses, the set bonus, and even the Cersei ring gems, yeah. Even though people are saying they're garbage. I disagree. I forking love the... Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing you could do now on YouTube. That's interesting.
What the mythic mount will be. I feel a lot of people are going to be trying to see how they can get to cutting edge because
I feel like it's the cutting edge mount. It makes the most sense for it to just be this, right? Maybe just like, I don't know, polished. I feel like that's gonna be the mount.
I'm very excited about the Carnage fight because
I can't. This as a mount is so forking cool though. This might be my favorite ground mount on the in the game. He said can't to see how people can get to cutting edge, not get cutting edge to see the mount. He said can't wait to see how people can get to cutting edge, not get cutting edge to see the mount. What?
The Galliwix encounter, once people see that mech and also what the mythic mount will be.
What the mythic mount will be. So I guess not cutting edge, just a chance to drop off of mythic.
I feel a lot of people are going to be trying to see how they can get to cutting edge because it is wild.
I'm very excited about the Carnage fight because that T-Rex, the Mechasaur, that also...
Yeah, it's still a mythic. Still, that makes it's a mythic only mount. Whether it's from the achievement of cutting edge or not, it's still only from that.
has a chance to drop him out. And
that is the coolest land mount they've ever done. And it's not even close. That's awesome.
as a collector, I want that mount so bad.
It's the coolest mount in the game, in my opinion.
It's so cool. Favorite ground mount is the ring from Mechagon. Well, you're incorrect because the best one is this one. If it doesn't fly or drive, I'll never touch it. Well, same, but it's beautiful. People are going to be farming that till WoW dies. Magic Rooster is really, really good, yeah. Objectively, though, this is the best mount, right? It's just an objective truth. Okay, so 4 Goblin cartels will influence the way players interact with Undermined based on friendship levels. And Venture Co. is one of those, which is weird. Unlock different transmog toys, different drive customizations. Mounts said to be 3 to 5 times faster than ground mounts. Can be faster than skyriding when at full speed. That's cool. Brand Bronzebeard will be our Delves companion. Also be getting a new range tank specialization, which is very interesting. It's got, I feel like all of the signs are there for our Tinker class, so I don't know what's taking them so long. Goblin Curios, including one that gives players a pilotable mech suit in Delves. That's so cool and goofy, and I love it. I don't know what they're gonna do. He uses a shield and a little pistol that he pulls out, so I don't know. Season 2 launch coming 1 week after Undermined launch. New arena. This is basically just a recap of the video in case you didn't want to watch the video, I guess. I mean, I still love the idea that N'Zoth isn't dead and that was just like an illusion. That's actually how I prefer it to be honest with you. Good job. Anything else?